My wife just gave me an STD. If that's you, I want you to stay and pay attention, sir. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. If you have a question about this or anything, put it in the box. We'll get to you as soon as possible. You've been married for a while and you found out you have an STD and you believe that your wife has given it to you. You know, that's a painful day. It's a painful situation. Now, I've worked with clients who've experienced all kinds of pain, be it infidelity, sexual addiction, trauma, abuse, etc. And it's okay as a man to be in pain. You know, shortly, I'm going to be putting together a DVD called The Betrayed Man, and it covers a lot of these facts. But I want you to know that this could be an opportunity. So let me talk about two things with you. Number one, the opportunity this brings to you. And number two, how do you trust again or get the truth? The first part of this, it's an opportunity to learn. For sure, regardless of whether you stay together or not, or what you figure out in your relationship. Of course, follow all the things your doctor told you to do. And if your wife is giving you the stories of, I don't know how I got this, it must have been a bathroom thing or whatever, and you know you're getting red flags all over that something's not right. Ask some questions that may seem like they're not related, but they are related. So let me go through some of these. Now, I'm Dr. Doug Weiss. I'm the president of the American Association for Sex Addiction Therapy, training counselors all around the world, as well as the executive director of Heart to Heart Counseling Center in Colorado Springs. We do 5-day intensives. I've worked with over 5,000 couples who've experienced infidelity, sexual addiction, betrayal, trauma, and just bad marriages and seen them get better. But in your situation, you have an opportunity to ask some questions, because even if they cheated on you, that doesn't happen in a vacuum. Oftentimes, there are precursors that you want to know about, because just stopping that behavior without knowing what those precursors are will probably bring that behavior back. If you're in this pain now, you never want to go through this again. You never want to go through this again. You probably promise yourself, I'm never going through this again. If you extend grace to her in this time, you don't ever want to go through this again. And many men don't even go through it the first time. So if you're watching this, I'm really proud of you. The first thing is find out about her masturbation history. Is she been masturbating over the last few years, over the last 10 or 15 years? Is she looking at pornography? Find out about that, the frequency of that, what type of pornography, because that's going to tell you what she's actually going to go chasing after. Another thing is that she could also have experienced some sexual abuse or rapes. So therefore, she might have been used as a sex object. So now she sees herself as a sex object and using herself as an object for people. And that's an important thing. If there's been trauma there, you want to heal it at this point. If she's had an abortion and she's struggling with pain from that or feeling worthless from some of the things she's done in her past, you want her to get some counseling and help to deal with these issues. We've got a lot of great ladies on our team at Heart to Heart Counseling Center. That phone number is 719-278-3708. You want to find that out. Also, sometimes there's actually psychological disorders that are driving these things. And I'm going to give you the top few that females have in this situation that might be helpful for you. You can Google them, find out research about them, and see if these apply. If they do, see a psychologist to get psychological testing and verify before you give a diagnosis. Borderline personality disorder. This is a woman who is very emotionally challenged, struggles with anger, compulsivity issues, and this includes sex. And so this is why it might be an issue. But Google that and see if it fits, if it does. Okay. Sometimes histrionic, they're more emotionally based. And so if they get into it, it's usually based on their emotions. And in any of the bipolar families, bipolar 1, 2, or manic depression, they go way up and then down, or they have slight mood shifts like that. That can be found out as well. Those are disorders that if they are not facilitating, but they're actually helping or assisting this process, you want that cleared up as soon as possible. Now, those are some of the things you can find out in this process and make sure that you are as safe as possible going forward. The other thing that men want to know is, do I know the truth? Because just because I got one STD doesn't mean there's not more than one person. And you're telling me there may be one person, but there might be 10 or 15 or 20. And you're telling me it's been 2 weeks, but it might be 2 years. I want to know the truth, and you deserve to know the truth. So here's what you ask her to do. Say, I want you to take a polygraph test to verify your story. Now, if she leans towards you, go, baby, that's what I want to do. I want you to know that what I did was wrong. I want you to know what's the truth. There's no more than I told you. I'm really wanting to change. Okay, great. Take the polygraph test. If she moves towards you, you're in a better situation. Now, sometimes you're still lying, but you're in a better situation. If they back up and you don't trust me and I'm never going to do that, and you got trust issues and they're not admissible in court, and I've researched them and they're not always accurate. Well, I've done more than probably between 1,000 and 2,000 polygraphs in my office over 40 years of counseling, and they're way more accurate than someone who cheats or has a sexual addiction for sure. So, and you're asking them to rebuild trust. Now, if they do that, you want questions about when it started, when it stopped, how many people, has there been contact since X date? If you're going to cover masturbation, pornography questions, you want to contact a polygrapher and find out how many questions they'll give you, because there's different types of polygraph tests. And depending on the type they're using, it'll depend on how many questions you get. Of course, you're always welcome to come to our office, do an intensive, and do a polygraph as part of that. And also address maybe some of the betrayal issues that you have, because when you've been betrayed, you have trauma, and address some of the pain and hurt and anger that you're feeling and the losses that you have for you and your family, your past and your future. Those are big issues for men to address. Getting an STD is a really bad day. Taking it and turning it into a time of opportunity. I've seen people do that successfully and actually have really good marriages afterwards and heal when both people do their work. If we can be of service to you, call the number 719-278-3708. As a man, I know betrayal is painful. I've seen it both with infidelity, sexual addiction, and intimacy anorexia, where your wife ignores you spiritually, emotionally, sexually. You're begging to be loved, begging to be touched, begging to be connected to, and then she cheats on you on top of that. That's a whole nother dynamic. And if you've never heard the term intimacy anorexia, go to intimacyanorexia.com. Check it out. If that's in your situation, that has to heal before the cheating and the lying will stop. So I want to encourage you, this is a bad day. This is a bad situation, but you can take it and make it an opportunity to at least discover what caused it. And if you choose to stay and work together, it can be better, or just make the choices you need to based on their responses and your own consciousness. Well, I'm Dr. Doug Weiss, so hopefully this has been helpful. If you haven't subscribed, do that. Have a question, put it in the box. And until next time, make the best choices you can.